Good evening. I'm Peggy Kelly, President of the Alumni and Friends of Mentor High School. Welcome. Okay. Welcome to the 2023 27th Annual Mentor High School Hall of Fame induction ceremony and dinner. We are honored to have special guests this evening and would like to recognize them. If you are a member of the Mentor School's administration, staff, or members of the school board, please rise. Would the trustees, board members of Alumni and Friends of Mentor High please stand? We also have a number of past Hall of Fame inductees. Would you also please rise to be recognized? At this time, I'd like to turn the mic over to Mary Briner, our treasurer, who will talk about our scholarship program.
Thank you. The scholarship program is something that the Alumni Association is very proud of. This year we awarded 4 scholarships of $1,000 each to graduates of Mentor High School that graduated in 2022. I would also like to thank the Mentor Area Chamber of Commerce for helping us with this project. The scholarship recipients are Nicole Abbott, who is attending University of Toledo, Brianna Burwald, who's attending John Carroll University, Autumn Stockmaster, who's attending Kent State University, and Carrie B. Ward, who's attending Howard University. So if we could give a little round of applause for those. Thank you. And if you'd like to donate to the scholarship fund, we always welcome donations. Thank you. Next, I would like to welcome our Superintendent of Mentor Schools, Craig Heath, to do our introduction of the Hall of Famers.
Good? Yeah, this isn't awkward at all. Good evening, everyone. Again, my name's Craig Heath. I'm very proud to be the superintendent of Mentor Schools. You'll have to bear with me a little bit here today. My voice is probably going to be a little bit shot. I've been traveling all day as we were just at the League of Innovative Schools conference down in Alabama the last 4 days. Learning about some of the innovative things that are going on around the country that we can bring back here to Mentor as well. We were fortunate enough a few years back to actually host that conference here in Mentor as well, and all of those districts from around the country came here to learn about all the great things that we do. So anyway, thank you for being here for the 27th induction ceremony of the Mentor High School Distinguished Alumni Hall of Fame. It's one of the highlights of the year to be part of tonight's events, and we were where we had the opportunity to honor some of Mentor's finest graduates who have continued to represent our community well in the years after high school. This year's inductees span from graduating Mentor High School 28 years ago to 53 years ago. So I imagine each of their experiences at Mentor High School must have been quite different as the years went by. You're in the middle, you're okay. But one thing that has always remained the same is the annual Cardinal Notes. And what better way to first introduce you to our inductees tonight than our tradition of flipping through those old yearbooks. So you'll be able to see some of these things up on the screen here. We begin tonight in 1970. Yes, 53 years ago. when Mary Ellen Fesser walked the halls of Mentor High School as Mary Ellen Warman. By now, students have really settled into the new Mentor High School, and flipping through the yearbook shows us Mary Ellen was definitely one leading the pack. She was very active in school. In fact, Mary Ellen wins the unofficial award this evening for most involved in high school. We found she participated in a cappella choir, American Field Service, Cardinal Notes, German Club, Kiettes, Latin Club, Marching Band, Mentor Medics, Mixed Chorus, Pep Club, Senior Council, Ski Club, Symphonic Band, and was a tour guide. I'm not sure she had time to go to class, though. I suppose it's not surprising Mary Ellen can manage that schedule, as she clearly maintains a very busy life to this day, which has led to great success and has helped countless others along the way. Congratulations, Mary Ellen. Five years later, and moving on to the 50th edition of the Cardinal Notes, we find Tom Mock, pictured among the class of 1975. This graduating class is about 780 students strong. Times are changing with new technologies entering the scene, and the seniors seemed a little bit salty that for the first time ever at Mentor High School, the computer scheduled them, leaving some students with too many English classes and not enough lunch. Beyond, however, his class schedule turned out, the Cardinal Notes is proof Tom was involved in school community through sports. We found him pictured with the football and baseball teams. I'm sure some of the character traits like hard work, perseverance, and determination that helped him excel as a student athlete at Mentor High School in the 70s have been applied to life after graduation and led to where he is today. Congratulations, Tom. We're staying in the 70s for tonight's next inductee, where David Eva did not get lost in the crowd of the still growing Mentor High School. The student body is more than 2,700 students now, with more than 800 of them being 1978 graduates alongside David. Cardinal Notes is in its 53rd edition with a theme of mentormorphosis. And students talk about Mentor High School being a diverse and lively place. We found out David was part of the OWA class, which meant he could leave school early every day for hands-on learning experience. And getting a head start on earning a living. And that he did, making $1.90 an hour at McDonald's. Raking in the bucks. Having a strong focus on working hard was a mindset that started young for our now Mentor on the Lake mayor, David Eva. And it is awesome to know he got his start right here at Mentor High School, and how he continues to serve our community today. Actually, fun fact here, he was one of the first groups of students to attend Lake Elementary School, our one school that we have in Mentor on the Lake. Once a Cardinal, always a Cardinal. Congratulations, Mayor Eva. Jumping into the next decade now, representing the class of 1981, we find Rebecca Harold, better known as Becky, pictured among the 759 Mentor High School seniors. Volume 56 of the Cardinal Notes is themed Reflections of Red and Gray Days. And you can tell by flipping through the pages, seniors had a lot of pride in the vast amount of extracurricular sports, arts, and activities that were offered to them. Back in her high school days, you'd find Becky involved in all things music. Wait, involved is probably not the right word to use here. Stand out or starring in all things music is probably much more fitting for Becky. Among the many courses she excelled in, Becky was also part of the top 25 our show choir that is now in its 58th year entertaining our community. It's wonderful to think Mentor High School was even a small part of helping shape Becky's tremendous career. Congratulations, Rebecca. A few years later, in 1988, wow. I'm a 1988 grad. I had that haircut. In 1988, a young Jeff Jukowitz was getting ready to leave the nest for the most notable of causes. He was joining the United States Army, but not before getting his great snapshot captured for the good old Cardinal notes. The theme of the yearbook this year was one way, the only way, the Cardinal way. But I don't know, Jeff really shaped his own unique, heroic way. You see, as a junior, he committed to enlisting in the Army, with parent permission signatures required, of course. He finished his senior year in our vocational automotive program, and 3 days after graduation, he left for the Army, where he served in various capacities for 16 years. Probably most special about Mentor High School for Jeff, though, he married his high school sweetheart, Julie. So for Jeff, it's really your story after high school that is just so inspiring. We know you have touched the lives of countless people, devoting your career to service and safety of others. Thank you for your service, and congratulations, Jeff. Our final inductee tonight, and the only one who gets a color photo. Is Jenny Barovian, now known as Jenny Panhorst. We've pulled Cardinal Notes, volume 70, from the files to get this photo representing the class of 1995. Even with a large class of 749 students, Jenny found a way to be a standout student. We found her pictured in an array of activities, from competing on the Science Olympiad, which is actually competing at the state competition tomorrow for us, and the academic decathlon teams, to working as a physics lab aide and giving back to our community by participating in service events like the Senior Citizens Dinner Dance. The theme of this yearbook was Bird's Eye View, and the seniors wrote about flying the nest or building a nest after high school. I think it's safe to say Jenny did more than fly the nest. She has absolutely soared. Thank you for being such a wonderful representative of Cardinal Nation, and for using your gifts and spirits to help others, not only through your work today, but through your volunteerism as well. Congratulations, Jenny. So that's a first look at the 2023 class of Mentor High School Distinguished Alumni Hall of Fame. As the night continues, you will hear more about each individual and the accomplishments that have led us here tonight. On behalf of Mentor Schools and the Mentor Board of Education, I would like to say congratulations to this year's inductees. Thank you. At this time, I get the honor to introduce our Mentor High School principal, Jason Crow. And I'll behave. I won't actually say anything more about him. He's just a great guy. I'm glad he's leading our high school this year. Made my first year here very enjoyable, and has taken a lot of load off of me as we've gone through these spring events, which is kind of a whirlwind tour. So at this point, I would like Jason Crow to come to the podium. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Mr. Heath, for the kind introduction. Lucky the camera was on. Congratulations to our 6 newest Mentor High School Hall of Fame inductees. And thank you to their families and friends for being here tonight to celebrate. And also thank you to our Alumni Association for putting this great event together. And before I lead us in our opening in our prayer, I was asked to let everyone know we're going to be called up by table to the buffet. So very important, we called up by table to the buffet. So if you could please bow your heads. Heavenly Father, we gather here this evening to celebrate and honor the achievements of 6 special individuals who have excelled in their own lives and in doing so made a positive impact in the lives of others. Being together today has given us the opportunity to share experiences, laugh, connect with one another, reflect, and grow. Heavenly Father, bless our meal and grant us compassionate and understanding hearts towards one another. Amen.
If I can have Karen Blanksheen, she's our vice president up here. She's going to help me give out the awards. The year is 1970. Construction begins on the Center Street Railroad overpass. 100,000 people demonstrate against the Vietnam War in Washington, D.C. Debbie Reynolds leaves her show over cigarette ads airing during her program, which children watched. The Apollo 13 crew splashes down safely after a near disaster. The first Earth Day is celebrated the same year the Environmental Protection Agency begins operation. Monday Night Football debuts with a game between the New York Jets and the Cleveland Browns. The first jumbo jet takes flight. Popular songs are Let It Be and War. Famous quotes for the year were, Houston, we have a problem. And Mary Ellen Fesker graduates from Mentor High School. Mrs. Fesker attended Mount Union College for her bachelor's degree and Kent State University to obtain her master's in special education. She holds licenses as special education supervisor and for education of the handicapped, developmentally, orthopedically, severe behavior, and specific learning disabled. Mary Ellen began writing functional behavior assessments and intervention plans for Positive Education Project. She then moved to teaching students with emotional disturbances for Chardon schools and tutoring students with learning disabilities for Mentor schools. She continued with the Positive Education Program as a liaison, teacher, case manager, working with day treatment classroom teams to develop and implement interventions and working with parents to improve child's quality of life, and taught a self-contained classroom in a day treatment center for seriously emotionally disturbed children and youth. Mrs. Fesker is a leader in her profession. She is regularly asked to give professional presentations here and across Europe. She is a member of the board for the European Federation of Conflict Management and Treatment in Education and Care. She serves as a board member of the Life Space Crisis Intervention Institute, a major trainer of life space intervention, and trainer for the neural sequential model in education. Her area of specific interest and study is developmental trauma, autism spectrum, and brain development and evolution, and her classroom strategies for traumatized students has been published. Mary Ellen is a lifetime member of St. Andrew's Episcopal Church and has been a member of the choir, Women's Guild, and vestry, supporting the food bank and volunteering for numerous events over the last 50 years. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Mary Ellen, a 2023 Distinguished Alumni Hall of Fame inductee.
Okay, thank you. That's not entirely accurate, the bio, but that's okay. That's unimportant. I just can't believe that I'm actually standing up here because my actual job, as I'm not, I only taught for a couple of years, but I'm a consultant and I work with in the schools all around the Cleveland area and further on helping teachers with their most challenging kids. And as a consultant, you're usually in the background, right? And so I'm not used to getting awards. That's my husband. He gathers them, by the dozens. But so I'm very honored to be able to be up here tonight. But my life has really been interesting because I've never really intended to go into education ever in my entire life. But I always think about my life as, going up these staircases in Harry Potter. You know how you go up this one and then it shifts, and then you go up this one and then it shifts again. And that's really been kind of what happened to me, because I majored in foreign languages and international diplomacy when I was an undergrad. And I thought I was going to go out and do all this international stuff and world peace and all that. But the stairway changed, and I ended up in special education. And it's been an absolutely incredible journey. I have learned so much from the challenging children and their families and the teachers who work with them. And teachers I have learned to respect so much. They are underpaid, they are overworked and underrespected, and they do so much. But I've learned so much from these kids, from the teachers, and everything else. But yet, I guess I really don't have too much more to say about all that, except for that I also feel that I'm also blessed and I'm very lucky. I was very fortunate to be born into a loving, educated, and supportive family that's over here. I was so fortunate to be able to go to such a high-quality school system. And boy, that tour today, it's even better. I mean, I wish I were going there now. Well, not really, but I wish what they had now was what they had when I was in school. I've married the right man. And I have 3 wonderful and amazing and normal kids. Although I gotta say, parenting is still the hardest job I ever had. And they've given me, 4 adorable little grandchildren. And I've got amazing and wonderful and supportive friends. So again, thank you. And what's amazing is that it all came together. And even though I wanted to go into international diplomacy and didn't go there, I still get to, in what I'm doing now, I'm traveling the world and I'm speaking the languages I love, and I've come full circle. So it's been a wonderful trip. And thank you so much.
If your family wants to take a picture, you must come around and talk to us. Oh, pyramid, be careful.
It's heavy.
Yes. Okay. Congratulations.
Okay, thank you.
The year is 1975. Mentor teachers strike, and the students walk out to protest the elimination of their smoking area. The Freedom Train came through Ohio to celebrate America's bicentennial. The U.S. carries out Vietnam Operation Baby Lift, bringing Vietnamese orphans to the U.S., and shortly after, the Vietnam War ends. The name Microsoft becomes a registered trademark. Work on the Alaskan pipeline begins. Beaches are less crowded that summer with the release of the movie Jaws. Jimmy Hoffa disappears, never to be seen again. Was he at the beach? Bruce Springsteen releases Born to Run. Rocky Horror Picture Show debuts. Popular phrase heard is live from New York. It's Saturday night, as the show debuts on NBC. Top songs are Love Will Keep Us Together and Philadelphia Freedom. And Thomas Mock graduates from Mentor High School. After graduation, Tom earned his Bachelor of Science Industrial Engineering degree from Purdue University, on to UNC for his Master's of Business Administration. He started his career with AT&T, working his way to senior manager and project support. Then on to senior manager, global logistics for RF Micro Devices, business process engineer for Verizon Wireless, and Global Transportation Logistics Manager for Cree Incorporated. Tom, as church vice president, has served on the Board of Advisors for Bice Wealth Management and the Board of Directors for Comfort Zone Camp, a free 3-day camp for 7 to 18-year-olds who have lost a family member. What consumes his spare time is the North Carolina Baptist On Mission Relief. Since 2016, Tom has led teams to clear debris, tear out and clean up flooded, destroyed homes, over 45 trips to rebuild the teardowns after Hurricane Florence, and then went back 20 days to help with complete rebuilds. Many have handicapped ramps and safe, healthy home repairs due to his belief in helping others. He was site logistics manager, overseeing the production and distribution of 14,000 meals a day after Hurricane Ida and 25,000 a day after Hurricane Ivan and the flash flooding in Kentucky. He still finds time to drive to New York City with 2,000 winter gloves and 5,000 coats and to cook and distribute lunches at low-income housing communities. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Tom, 2023 Distinguished Alumni Hall of Fame inductee.
Thank you. I want to thank everybody for this honor. It's something that I don't feel like I deserve because I don't do for myself. I do it for a mighty God that I serve and a loving God that I serve. And I want to also thank my wife, who is always there when one of these things comes up, a disaster or something, and she tells me to immediately go and help these people. And I want to thank all of you for just being here tonight and taking your time out of your busy schedules to be here. So a year ago, September 28th, Hurricane Ian, winds 150 miles an hour, slammed into the southwest coast of Florida, just north of Fort Myers, Florida. And that was a Thursday, and 2 days later, I was in Cape Coral, Florida, with North Carolina Baptist on Mission Disaster Relief. And I was setting up the site. I was a logistics manager for the site. And we set up to make we ended up making 25,000 meals a day. It was complete devastation, as you know, down there. They didn't have any food, they didn't have any water, they didn't have any electricity. We had to bring that all in ourselves. And it was just something to see. And so as site logistics manager, my job is basically to manage all the equipment and all the goods and services coming in and out of the site. And you can imagine what that means when you're making 25,000 meals a day. At one time we were managing 17 tractor trailers coming in and out of the site. You got all the food and all the water, all the trash, everything that's going on, and I was responsible for doing that. One day I actually looked at my phone at the end of the day. I'd walked 11 miles just on the site we were at. So anyway, about 3 days later, I had to go to Lowe's Hardware to pick up some supplies to the site. And ran into a lady when I was checking out. Her name was Mary, and I looked at her, and Mary looked like in her late 50s, and she looked kind of dejected. And I said, "Mary, you doing okay?" And she says, "Well, yeah, but it didn't look really convincing to me." And she noticed the shirt I had on. We wear yellow shirts that say North Carolina Baptist on Mission Disaster Relief. And she says, "We really, really appreciate you guys being down here and helping us." And I told Mary about what we were there doing. I said, "We're making 25,000 meals a day to get all the people that aren't eating right now and doing all that." I said, "We have recovery teams down here. They're chainsawing trees off of houses, tarping roofs, and if the houses were flooded and destroyed, we're doing tear outs, trying to recover the houses so they don't get condemned." And Mary looked at me and she said, "I just wish somebody here would help me like that." And I looked at Mary and I said, "Mary, God sent us here to help you." And she just broke down sobbing and in tears. So I went around the counter and I helped Mary and held her and gave her a hug, and I gave her all the information to get help so we could get down there and help her. We do this all the time. And that's just one example of what I've been doing for the last several years. And so you ask yourself, why does he do this? Well, I've always had a desire just to help people throughout my whole life. And a little more than 2 years ago, I decided I was going to retire and looked at what I was going to do. And I looked at this world and I said, there's just so much hatred, and darkness going in this world, and what am I going to do to change that? Well, I can't go around just talking to people, because I'm going to talk to people. That's not going to change them. That I just felt I had to show them God's love. So every day when I wake up, I ask God to show me people that I can help that day and show them His love and have an impact on people in their lives. So I guess one of the things I want to pass on to all of you is that when you get up there every day, most people are going to run into somebody like a Mary that has some kind of disaster going in their lives. Or just keep your radar out looking for these people, because those people are looking for someone that's going to give them love and give them hope. And so when you run into them, they're going to not only change, you're not only going to change their lives, you're going to change your lives forever. It's going to give you more satisfaction than I've ever ran through in my 40 years of my career that was read here. It's just so much more important to me and impacting these people's lives. And just remember, when you talk to these people, there's no problem bigger than the God we serve. Thank you.
The year is 1978. The second It's Better in Menor Festival is held. The first test tube baby is born in the UK. The Susan B. Anthony dollar is released, and the comic strip Garfield starts. Space Invaders arcade games are all the craze. Top songs are Night Fever and Stayin' Alive. Top phrase, Grease is the word, as Grease, the most successful movie of all times, hits the big screen. Top quote, I'm here to fight for truth, justice, and the American way, from the Superman movie. And David Eva graduates from Menor High School. After high school, Dave attended Bowling Green University, earning his Bachelor in Science in Business Administration. He started his career in the financial area at KeyCorp and has been with PNC Financial Services since 2004. His financial background has served him well through his years as a Menor-on-the-Lake councilman and now as their mayor since 2012. Though technically a part-time job, Dave has immersed himself in the city and its citizens. Mayor Eva has passed levies, lowered expenses, partnered with the City of Menor, combining contracts for contractor discounts, and worked with Menor Public Schools on issues including COVID protocol, and on top of that, the daily duties of the mayor. Dave has been a member and served as president, assistant coach, manager, and league commissioner of the McMinn Baseball League. He remains active with the children of the community, organizing volunteers to help students at Lake Elementary, studying for reading tests, reading nights, and holiday activities. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome David, 2023 Distinguished Alumni Hall of Fame inductee.
I want to thank the Menor High School Alumni and Friends Association for this recognition, and specifically Tina Benny for the nomination. Congratulations to the 2023 inductees Jenny, Tom, Rebecca, Mary Ellen, and Jeff. In the fall of 1969, my family moved from Cleveland to Menor-on-the-Lake. Along with the new house, I was able to start the 4th grade at a brand new school in Menor-on-the-Lake, Lake Elementary. From Lake, I attended Shore Junior High, and then from there, the high school. I always liked math and took accounting classes in high school, which led me to Bowling Green State University. As we found out earlier, as part of the OWA program, I was able to get out of school early and go to work. And that first job, I quizzed the kids at school today. I said, how much do you think I earned on that first job? $5, $6 an hour. And the answer was $1.90 an hour. So that was a lot back then, yes. As you heard, I've spent the last 35 years in banking and the last 20 years in city government in Mentor-on-the-Lake, 9 years on city council, and the last 11 years as mayor. It's been an honor to serve the community I grew up in, and I want to thank, we have a whole table back here of our police chief, our council members. Thank you for your support over the years. It was a pleasure touring the high school today and meeting some of the students. It's amazing, and I told Mr. Crow, amazing job that he does with the staff over there. And if you would go in the building, it's the same building, but what they've done to modernize that, you know, they've taken out lockers, put in study areas. The kids that took us on the tour today, they're all involved with something, one thing, many different things, and just to listen to them and hear about what their future holds was just amazing today. What I've learned in life, life is what you make of it. Blaze your own trail. Be accountable for your choices. Happiness is not always a straight line upward, as we know. There will always be bumps along the way. Life is a learning process. It takes time to find what you really enjoy doing, be it personally or professionally. Always move forward and keep reaching for new situations. Some situations may make you uncomfortable, but may help you grow as a person. Life is full of changes and choices. How you perceive life today will be considerably different as you grow older, as we know. Move forward and don't look back. One thing I've read about lately is practicing gratitude. Gratitude is focus on what's good in your life and be thankful for the things that you have. Finally, I would like to thank my family and friends here tonight to support me. I would not be the person I am today without all of you. Thank you. You're going to hold? We're good?
Yep.
Thank you.
Oh, my. All righty. The year is 1981. The pool, tennis courts, and hiking trails open at Civic Center Park, and Morton Community Park and Pool open as well. NASA launches the first space shuttle mission. 52 American hostages are released from Iran. Everyone was tuned to the TV to watch the royal wedding of Prince Charles and Lady Diana. Famous quote, "Snakes. Why did it have to be snakes?" from Raiders of the Lost Ark. Mozart's undiscovered symphony that was written when he was 9 is found and performed in Bavaria. MTV launches August 1st. Top songs were Don't Stop Believing and Lady. And Becky Harold graduates from Mentor High School. Graduating from Baldwin Wallace College with a degree in vocal performance, Rebecca embarked on the path of most artists, jobs in service and retail while developing her true career in music. Having begun playing the piano at age 2 and begun singing at age 6, she was truly a natural. By age 10, she was composing and playing professionally for her church. She worked with Playhouse Square before moving to Boston, where she worked with the Company Theater, the Voice Studio of Robert Honeysucker, and the Birken Ballet in Vermont. Miss Harold's talent and versatility in singing diverse styles took her to Europe. As a lead singer, she has performed with several bands. She has also been music director for Turtle Lane Playhouse Children's Theater, Atrium School Children's Theater, Walpole High School Drama Department, Temple Bath Avoda, and Theater of Life. Rebecca became a recording artist in 2013 when a mutual friend introduced her to Will Ackerman and Imaginary Road Studio in Vermont. The River of Life received rave reviews. She is now back in the studio finishing on her new album, The Tree of Life. Today, Rebecca is very active in her church, teaches piano, and is building her own production company and promoting and producing concerts. Whenever possible, she volunteers her time and talents to benefit concerts, benefiting causes from multiple ballet troupes, breast cancer, Parkinson's Foundation, various churches, and Christian ministries. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Becky, 2023 Distinguished Hall of Fame inductee.
Yes, I'm going to do something a little different. There we go. I think it's on, huh? Well, I'm really honored, and I thought in lieu of speaking, because I can ramble on, a la Led Zeppelin, huh? I would do a little medley about my feelings around this whole experience. It's been very surreal, and great to get back in touch with some friends, and some of my best friends on the planet. This is a rich time when we were in high school. And just seeing all the little high school kids run around, I'm like, oh boy, does it fly. It flies, doesn't it? It kind of flies by. Ooh. And this is not flying. I don't want a Phantom of the Opera organ sound. Sorry. It was on a regular piano, and I don't know what happened. Yes. Stop! Here we go. I miss you more than words could say. Hear my heart beating every day. I would give everything to you. I'd pull all my stars out of the moon, and I would give everything to you, yeah. And I would only be true to you. I walk the ocean shore, looking for that open door, as the waves of doubt get tossed into the sea. Clouds gather darkening, the world's waves keep wooing me, and all my fears give way to honesty. And I would give everything to you. I'd pull all the stars out of the moon, and I would give everything always be true to you. Ooh, yeah, yeah. Ooh, yeah. I wish we could dance, 'cause I am lambada. You know the lambada? Maybe you don't. But it was forbidden. I am lambada. Sometimes. That's kind of how I feel about my time that was at school. And I'm so thankful to have had the time at school, at Menor High School. It's a fabulous school, and I think I'm 5 minutes, right? It's a fabulous school, and I want to thank my family and all my friends and everybody here for being here. It's so kind of you to come out and give us all a lot of love. Feeling it. Thank you.
Oh my gosh. Have to have a separate bag. This is awesome. The year is 1988. Mentor celebrates its 25th year as a city. Archaeologists uncover the original Globe Theatre in London where Shakespeare performed. The Iran-Iraq War ends. The first laser eye surgery is performed. Top songs are Faith and I Need You Tonight. Top quote, I'm not bad, I'm just drawn that way, from Who Framed Roger Rabbit. The Simpsons debuts on TV. The first computer virus infects computers connected to the internet. It was called the Brain and infected 5.2-inch floppy disks. And Jeff Jukowitz graduates from Menor High School. Jeff entered the delayed entry program to join the U.S. Army in high school. During his fourth-year commitment, he served with the 18th Airborne, serving in an artillery unit in Panama Desert Shield Desert Storm with the 2nd Infantry Division in North Korea. He finished up his enlistment as a motor sergeant for Tactical Air Traffic Control Cavalry Unit. Jeff was awarded 5 Army Achievement Medals, an Army Commendation Medal, National Defense Ribbon, Good Conduct Medal, and several others for meritorious service. He then fulfilled 4 years in the Ohio Army National Guard, and after 8 years in the Ohio Military Reserve, and was pivotal in establishing the Emergency Support Battalion nonprofit in Trumbull County, helping local first responders with a volunteer force. Some of the EST duties have been security for Painesville Party in the Park, evacuation of Heisley Park during the train derailment, and assisting Barberton during the flooding, all of which earned him community citations. He has also earned numerous other citations from the City of Willoughby, FEMA, the Ohio EPA, and TSA. Jeff's love for community does not end there. He has served as basketball coach, VP for the Menor Headlands Community Center, commander of the AMVETS Post 40, and judge advocate for AMVETS District 40. All while working for the City of Willoughby full-time and volunteering to be a trustee, vice president, and president for the AFS-CME Union. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in a round of applause for Jeff, 2023 Hall of Fame inductee.
Let me start by telling you that this speech will be less than 5 minutes. I'm hoping about 3 minutes and 50 seconds. I'm humbled and as shocked as anyone that I'm standing before you giving a speech for being inducted into the Menor High School Distinguished Alumni Hall of Fame. School was far from being my cup of tea. I was one of those kids that took the opportunities of vocational classes, auto mechanics, welding, wood shop, I did them all. I thought I knew everything there was to know at the great age of 17, but I surely didn't. Unfortunately, I was not the best of behaved and had my fair share of detentions and in-school suspensions, if you can remember what those were. I do remember when I was doing something I shouldn't be, I not only had to look out for the teachers, but my dad as well, as he seemed to be at the school more often than I would like to remember, for things I did or my extraordinary grades. Some of you are here tonight should remember him popping in during our classes. He was definitely involved. He passed away a couple years ago, and let me tell you, he would be in disbelief that I was even allowed back at the school for any purpose, let alone this great honor. Following in his footsteps, I enlisted into the military. I did a lot of growing up in a very short time after my enlistment. I was privileged to see a lot of the world and many different cultures. I've seen good, bad, and the ugly. It helped mold me into who I am today. I spent 4 years in the active duty, 4 in the National Guard, and 8 in the Ohio Military Reserve. Some of the best times of my life were helping people that couldn't help themselves. During and after my military time, I was afforded the opportunity to get involved with numerous nonprofit organizations where I've been able to give back to the community and people. My parents instilled in me a solid work ethic and a respect to be given to others. I still value those lessons today. I remember during training for a community emergency response team class that I was instructing, coming across a phrase that stuck with me. It was, do the greatest good for the greatest amount of people. That is why I try to be involved in my community. I want to leave things better than the way I found them and help those that cannot help themselves. I've been called a great leader, but let me tell you, nothing I do can be accomplished without the help of so many. It is teamwork that makes the dream work. Fortunately, I'm surrounded by great people and have been able to make things happen. At AMVETS Post 40, I've held the position of judge advocate and been the commander for the past 4 years. I've been diligently working with my officers to help our posts reach a higher potential, which I know we have. I'm also currently the judge advocate for the AMVETS District 20, where we try to educate local posts and with current information and promote new programs. Another position I hold is the current vice president of the Menor Headlands Community Center, where we're in the process of revitalizing our mission to encompass more support for our community and bring an array of new services to the elderly and less fortunate. As many of you know, I have a tough time talking about myself, things that I've been blessed to do, my achievements and accomplishments. So we'll take the easy way out and simply leave that for a speech for another day. I want to thank my mom for teaching me unconditional love and always being by my side, and my dad who taught me everything I know and the courage to step up and change the things that I can. The selflessness that he portrayed was contagious, and I hope he is proud of me for receiving this award. I want to thank my beautiful wife, Julie, of 28 years this year, who undoubtedly has put up with a lot from me, always having commitments seemingly day and night, me dragging her out of town conventions, multiple functions, and asking for her help as well. I do not know what I would do without her support for me. I also want to thank my kids and the rest of my family. Understanding and accepting what I do matters to me more than they will ever know. Now to my friends. Thank you for coming here tonight to show your support for me. I am thankful and appreciate each and every one of you. My tribe is small but mighty. I am blessed to have you in my life. Some of us have been friends for 40 plus years, and after saying that, I'm like, where the hell did the time go? And we're getting old. Lastly, thank you to the High School Alumni Association for even considering me to be a part of this. To be inducted is just mind-blowing to me. I'm still trying to figure out why me. It's one of the most humbling, unexpected things that has happened to me, and I want to thank you for letting me be a part of this. I'm truly honored. Thank you.
Okay, for our last stop, the year is 1995. The new senior center opens at Civic Center Complex. Domestic terrorist attack on the federal building in Oklahoma City kills 168 and injures 680 others. Space Shuttle Atlantis docks with the Russian Mir space station. OJ is found innocent. eBay starts an online auction site. The first item sold was a broken laser pointer. Movie blockbuster Apollo 13 came out, and the first ever completely computer-generated movie, Toy Story, also debuted. Top songs are Gangsta's Paradise and Waterfalls. Top phrase, milk, it does a body good. And Jenny Borovian graduates from Mentor High School. Graduating summa cum laude with 10 scholarships and 3 academic honor societies, Jenny received her Bachelor of Science in Computer Engineering with a minor in Artificial Intelligence from Case Western Reserve University. From Case, Jenny went to Intel Corp as a rotation engineer all the way to vice president and general manager, network and edge compute division. She holds numerous Intel awards, including Intel Executive Inclusion Advocate of the Year and the Grace Hopper Celebration of Women in Computing, 2009 to 2020. Ms. Borovian also is very active in Intel's volunteer programs such as Intel Education Service Corps and Orphans Overseas, and she's instrumental in the Nursing Mothers Rooms for a 5,000 employee campus. She fills her time as an active member of the National Charity League, Arizona Academic Decathlon Association, holds several positions on the board of directors, Arizona Teacher of the Year, and National Engineers and Technicians Month and MentorNet, mentoring female engineering students. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Jenny, 2023 Distinguished Alumni Hall of Fame inductee.
It's very daunting to go after that much talent and accomplishments, and I'm cognizant of the fact that I'm the only thing standing between you and the after party, right? Next door, so we'll try to make it quick. Really big thank you to the Mentor High Alumni Association, Mr. Tom Ramsey, who kindly nominated me for this award, and family and friends who traveled from all over Ohio and all the way from Arizona to be here tonight. Almost 28 years ago, I sat on the floor of the Cleveland State Convocation Center wearing a white graduation gown, watching students cross the stage one by one as a symbolic threshold into the next stage of their lives. As just one of those 750 students, it's not at all hyperbole to say that I had no idea what the future would hold for me. I knew that I was going to start at Case that fall, majoring in computer engineering. I also knew that as much as I loved my parents and sister, who are also here tonight, I couldn't wait to get out of the house. And as a typical teenager, and also speaking now from experience as the parent of two teenagers, also here tonight, I know I had my share of moments where I thought I knew everything. And thanks to my time at Mentor High, there was definitely a lot that I did know. From Mr. Litzinger, who indulged me through countless skipped class periods, sitting in his guidance counseling office, I learned the value of listening, questioning the status quo, and exploring new horizons. From Mr. Korchak, who wowed all of us in AP Calculus with the imaginary calculator in his hand, I cemented my confidence that there's nothing wrong with thinking that math is not only useful, but pretty cool too. From Mr. Carey and many classes in the fine arts department, I learned to nurture and explore my passion for art, but that a passion for art didn't necessarily need to translate to a career in art. From Mr. Ramsey, here tonight, and my time in his AP Physics class, I had my first of many experiences of being the only woman in the room. And I started to explore both the pitfalls and power of that role. By the way, if you get a chance to talk to Mr. Ramsey, make sure he shows you his t-shirt with Lagrangian transformations on it. He wore it just for tonight. From my time in academic decathlon, I had the wonderfully memorable experience of being part of a state champion team. I learned the values of teamwork, overcoming the doubt of others, and working incredibly hard to achieve a triumphant result. From my time in Key Club and Community Service Club, I established a lifelong priority to serve my community and the world around me. But as I left this place, I quickly realized there was so much more that I had yet to learn. Going to school at Case exposed me to international students, many of whom had overcome hardship, to relocate from all parts of the world to further their education in a place that I took for granted simply because it was right in my backyard. As I met and worked with other women in tech, I came to learn that my mostly positive experience of being the only woman in the room was not shared by everyone. Many women faced overt discrimination and marginalization, which meant their voices were at the very least diminished, but in many cases even silenced, as they chose to step away from the field entirely. And I learned even more acutely through my work in diversity and inclusion initiatives that those same experiences were shared by many people who were in the minority, not just due to gender, but also due to race, national origin, gender identity, and so much more. As I traversed the world for work, I often had the experience of what Americans would consider to be modest business travel accommodations juxtaposed against the starkly more challenging daily lives of people living in areas like Southeast Asia, India, and Central America. I had the experience of traveling to Kenya on an Intel service project to open computer labs in schools to a place where girls were regularly taken out of school after primary years, where kids overall were struggling to have basic needs met, and where even when change is desired, the complex relationships between local communities, governments, nonprofits, and corporations often make it difficult to pinpoint the right solutions. And back in Arizona, which has been my home for the past 23 years, as my family and I continued to serve our community in many ways, I learned how interconnected all of us are. An award like this provides a great opportunity for reflection, to consider the full balance of my experience in high school and beyond, and also to consider what my next 45 years may hold. And these are the lessons that have had the most impact in my life. First, learn from others. Each one of us is only one person in this enormous world, and we simply can't understand the universe around us unless we take the time to observe, ask questions, and really listen. Next, do hard things. One of the top reasons I love my job is because every day is filled with new challenges and hard problems to solve, and super smart people to solve them alongside them. And finally, give back. Maybe this means helping someone at work or in your social circle, or serving people experiencing homelessness in your community, or volunteering in an education program, or using your wealth to lift up others, or maybe all of these things and more. Congratulations to all of the inductees, and thank you to everyone for being here tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I have another round of applause for these most deserving Hall of Fame inductees? I also want to take a moment to thank the St. John Vianney Center and Cater to You staff for a wonderful evening. I'd also like to ask Rebecca to come on up here and lead us in the alma mater. I'd like everybody to stand, and the alma mater is located in the back of your program. Anybody's welcome to join her. You were in choir? Yeah, you guys can come right up to the microphone. Yes. Why don't we sing by Becky? Okay, go ahead. We'll sing by you.
Keep the banners waving o'er us, floating towards the sky. We've a team that's fighting for us, cheer for mentor high. Alma mater, alma mater, when from thee we part, we shall keep thy memories woven in your Don't try to harmonize one over.
Well, thank you again for joining us tonight, and please drive home safely.